Welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, weight loss coach, and lover of all things related to upleveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you get one step closer to your goal, whatever it is. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Welcome back, friend. This is episode number 112, Intentional Health, My Health Diagnosis, and we are jumping right in. I started talking about this last episode, and since then, so much more has been revealed to me, and it has inspired me to share what I have learned with you. In Life by Design style, let's go. Let's jump right in. We invite, attract, create, and become what we pay the most attention to. We only invite, attract, create, and become right up to the very edge of our current self-image. Living intentionally is a way of being. It is being proactive versus reactive. It is a way of being on purpose versus living at the effect of life. Living intentionally has the power to affect every area of your life, even your health. And I am on fire for this one, people, so hang on. I am in the process of figuring out what it means exactly to live with an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's. And I'm on fire about this for me, but I'm also on fire about this for you too. Let me first talk about how this happens and why this is important for you to start today, not tomorrow, today. Start creating an intentional life so that when life brings you things and things happen to you beyond your control, you will be 100% equipped to not only survive, but to thrive. I am not a scientist, so all of this is going to be very layman in terms, but here we go. Autoimmune disease happens when the body's natural defense system, and I want you to earmark that, natural defense system can't tell the difference between your own cells and the foreign cells, causing the body to mistakenly attack normal cells. That is it in a nutshell. And notice the phrase body's natural defense system. That implies that the body is either under attack or interpreting that it is under attack. Okay, here's more. There are more than 100 autoimmune diseases. 50 million Americans have one or more autoimmune disease that affects a wide range of body parts. Approximately 75% of those affected are women. And check this out, 70% of the immune system, the system that protects us from all illness and disease, is in the gut. Earmark that for yourself, please. It is more important now more than ever to create and live a life by design, a life that supports your health versus feeding and fueling your disease. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Turn the volume up and listen to this next part on repeat. The way we treat ourselves sets the tone for how we are treated. I'm going to say that one more time. The way that we treat ourselves sets the tone for how we are treated. As women, and I will add some men, but mainly women, we have been giving ourselves the message that as long as everybody else is happy, we're happy. And we've done a good job, even if we neglect our own physical, spiritual, and emotional needs in the process. We take pride in eating the burnt toast. That's a real thing. Google it on the interwebs. As humans, we pride ourselves in pushing ourselves through pain. We push past the point of exhaustion right into a state of confusion. How did I become 25 to 30 pounds overweight? Why can't I diet and work out and never lose weight? Why am I bloated all the time? How did I become so exhausted I want to collapse at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, all I can do is lay awake and wonder why I can't sleep. We are tired and wired. And what's with all this brain fog? And why do my joints ache? And will my skin ever stop itching? Or will I ever sleep through the night again? Or how is it that I can sleep for 9 hours and wake up exhausted? Why can't I sleep? Why can't I wake up? Why am I losing my hair? And why can't I stop eating? Why are all of the things I used to love so much very hard to get excited about? And how is it that I want nothing more and just fill in the blank right here, people, but I have zero energy or motivation to get started? And then finally, will I ever feel good again? Those are the exact questions I've been asking myself for years and not even actively seeking the answers. I have never brought any of these things up to a doctor, ever. Why? I was chalking everything, all of it up to aging, or because I work hard and play hard, or I ride a very big horse, so of course my joints will ache, and of course I'll be exhausted. Of course my hair is thinning, I wear a helmet, and my head sweats every day, and I'm aging. Of course I can't grow my nails, my horse ruins them, and the list goes on. That, my friend, is mistake number one. Chalking how you feel up to aging. Aging does not equal suffering, and I am convinced that I am here for the purpose of showing you that. So many of the things that I have experienced over the last 20 years, I have chalked up to normal, quote, unquote, aging. I know that's what many of us do, and today I want to impart to you that all of the intentional living that we have been talking about this year has never, ever been more important than today. Our bodies go in and out of survival mode all the time. You may not notice, but after this episode, that is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to notice your body. It's actually a very normal function and is what's kept us alive and thriving as a species. But as an advanced modern human, as we all are today, the truth is that we still live in bodies that respond to danger today exactly the same way as our ancestors. What does that mean? When you think about our ancestors and the extreme famine conditions they faced, I want you to think about how amazing our bodies are, that it had the ability to slow down our metabolism and compensate for the lack of food, because otherwise we would have died, and many of them did. If the body did not have the ability to do that, no one would have survived the long winters and long periods of time without food. And here is how that works. I want you to imagine a fuel plant that runs on coal and requires 2,000 pounds of coal to burn effectively. Are you with me? Now, imagine a coal shortage and there's only 900 pounds of coal available. Could you fuel the plant to still burn 2,000 pounds of fuel? No. And that explains why our bodies were designed to slow down the burn metabolically. And so all of this up and down yo-yo dieting we have done, all of the calorie dense but nutritionally void food we are eating day in and day out has created a survival mode response in our bodies. Under attack, our bodies are looking for the culprit, and sometimes it attacks itself. In the case of Hashimoto's, it attacks the thyroid gland. In the case of psoriasis, it attacks the skin. In the case of rheumatoid arthritis, it attacks the joints, and so on. Right now, my body is in survival mode, and yours probably is too. And I'm coming to my own rescue. And let me be clear, I am not the poster girl for any type of illness, let alone Hashimoto's and hypothyroid. If you know me, or even if you just met me in passing, I think some of the thoughts you would have are good energy, clear skin, slender, athletic, bright. And I found out this week that some people even think I'm funny and sharp-witted. I do not look depressed with low energy. I don't look gimpy with joint pain. My skin and hair look great. And if you didn't know any better, you might think I was the picture of health. And even with all of the things that I am sharing with you today and all of the symptoms that I've been carrying with me for so long, that's how I see me too. So much of what I have been feeling over the years is not seeable to most people, and I don't want this episode to give you the picture of something different. But now that I know, all of these things make so much sense, and now I'm super excited to learn all the things that will be healing my body instead of hurting my body. One of the first things I learned was going into survival mode is dangerous for our health. When our body is under attack and in survival mode, it is stressed and it releases a hormone called cortisol. And that function is to turn off inflammation. That actually sounds great. So what's the problem? The problem is that when we are stressed for an extended period of time, the prolonged release of cortisol can lead our body's receptors to decrease their sensitivity to this helpful hormone. And as we stop reaping its benefits, its effective benefits, we suffer the consequences with weight gain, immune dysfunctions, and we are at risk of developing a variety of diseases. And for that reason, every article that I have read, and I've already read over 40 of them, and every book that I've read, I'm already on number 5, managing stress is also one of the pillars of the autoimmune protocol. And frankly, any disease protocol. Another pillar is the healing power of food. And I know you've heard me say this, that you are either fueling your disease or fueling your health. Here's the deal. Every time we eat inflammatory foods, your body will produce antibodies that ignite an attack on your immune system for days, for weeks, even months. And I'm learning from everything that I have read that if you can remove the food and the toxins that are stimulating an autoimmune response in your body and nourish it with nutrients, you can help the healing process, significantly reduce symptoms, and even put any disease into remission. It also requires reducing mental stress, emotional stress. It requires radical self-love, sleep, quality time with people who fill you up. It's about all of it. It requires designing your life instead of living at the effect of it. So this week's lesson on intentionality is be intentional with your health. Set the appointments, be an advocate for your body, listen to your body, do all the things in all of the previous episodes that we've been talking about, like fuel intentionally, move intentionally, be intentional with your energy and who you spend time with and who you spend your time thinking about. Be intentional with your time, doing the things that light you up. Be intentional with the words you use and how you talk about yourself to others. I'm guessing that a lot of listeners may be on an autoimmune journey of your own, given the statistics. If it's not you, you know someone. I am not a medical practitioner, and I don't want anything that I have said to be misunderstood as medical advice, and I'm not seeking advice at this point either. I am under the care of a functional medicine facility, and I'm immersing myself and educating myself on all things that will support remission. That's my new big goal. And of course, I will share with you my experience. In a couple of weeks, I'll have a biopsy on some suspicious nodules, and we'll see what's going on there. In the meantime, I am managing my mind, and I'm practicing mental hygiene on a level like I have never done before. Some of that involves having very difficult and uncomfortable but very necessary conversations with others. I am identifying stress triggers, the ones that give me a visceral reaction. I have researched an autoimmune protocol elimination eating plan, and I've started the process of eliminating foods that will allow my gut to heal, and then I will be evaluating how I feel as I reintroduce them. I don't think I'm celiac at all by any means, but I felt it would be super easy for me to go gluten-free right off the bat. So I eliminated that first. And I can tell you, with just that alone, it lifted my brain fog. And for now, my joint pain has also been eliminated. My energy is coming back, and I'm on a different emotional level. And I've gone from mainly edgy and gloomy and sad to more of a balanced and light feeling. The other thing that I'm doing is taking a food sensitivity test, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes for that kit. And right now, that link will give you 10% off. And I think it's a special for $38, so it's super inexpensive, and it tests you for over 1,000 foods. It's just good data to have, whatever you do with it, and it may answer some questions for you. This wasn't the story that I had in mind when I decided on the title of Intentional Health, but here we are. Listen, I don't normally ask this, but if this has been helpful and useful to you, please hit me with a 5-star review if you loved it, because it helps others find this podcast. And that is my goal. All right, my friends, this is what I have for you this week. And now go have the best day ever. That's a wrap. I hope that you were able to experience a mind shift of your own today. Listen, if you love this podcast, you should totally check out my Life by Design 6-week boot camp. It's a work at your own pace workshop and something that you can do over and over and over again to uplevel your results and get ready for a transformation at the speed of life.